You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. Oh, good.
From high atop the battlements of Castle Curmudgeon, where senility is just a state of mind and denial ain't just a river in Mexico. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. Welcome to the Blast Radius. Delighted you could join us this evening. Here is your Decline of Western Civilization news roundup for the final week of June 2024. Dateline aboard the Disney Death Star, Monday, 24 June. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, would you believe things are still getting worse for the Acolyte? I mean, is it even possible for things to get worse when you're already sitting at a 14% audience score, when this show was already the most widely mocked thing on the internet since the Lady Ghostbusters movie from 2016, when the CEO of Disney Star Wars is now on the record as saying the 86% of people who think this show sucks are all racist, woman-hating homophobes, when last week's attempt at damage control consisted of the show's lead actress releasing history's most cringeworthy song and music video in which she whines about how oppressed she is while inviting the viewer to give her a gynecological exam? Well, yes, amazingly, it turns out things can get even worse than that. And as long as it keeps doing that, we will be here to help you revel in every last delicious bit of it. Leslie Headland, the creator and showrunner of this piece of shit, former Harvey Weinstein personal assistant, the woman with the squarest face in America who isn't named Pramila Jayapal, she is now walking back the claim that she was making so openly and gleefully just a few short weeks ago that The Acolyte is the gayest Star Wars ever, which it would seem like you shouldn't need to make that claim in the first place, since the show is about strong, powerful, queer women of color being scissored into existence by lesbian space witches. So I feel like it was pretty goddamn self-evident already that it's the gayest Star Wars ever, and Ms. Headland seemed quite gleeful about promoting it as such, at least right up until the audience score started dropping like a lead manhole cover dropped from 30,000 feet above a black hole. Except Leslie still wants to have it both ways, it seems. So if you're a non-gay person who watches this thing and laughs at how overpoweringly, stultifyingly gay it is, then you are being, quote, simple-minded, pernicious, and reductive. end quote. But if you're a gay person, then you totally should feel free to view it as the gayest Star Wars ever. And I, for one, really find it very gratifying taking my moral and intellectual guidance from Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. It's almost like going to O.J. Simpson for advice on how not to murder your ex-wife and her friend. Dateline Washington, Tuesday, 25 June, which may or may not have been Lady Curmudgeon's 50th birthday, but I am a chivalrous husband to the last, and we don't talk about such things. White House Press Secretary Baghdad Buckwheat proved once again this week why we call her Baghdad Buckwheat, as she appeared to assert in public with a straight face in apparent total seriousness that grocery prices have not gone up during the tenure of her boss, President and semi-animated cadaver Joe Biden. And she did it with the impeccable eloquence and deft turn of phrase that we have come to expect from the first gay, black, female, homosexual, queer, lesbian woman of color ever to occupy that post, when she stated on MSNBC's Morning Joe, quote, "Eggs and milk, and there were grocery things that were up. It has gone down. It has gone down since 2022. And first, in the interest of full disclosure, how fervently do I wish that I possessed a mastery of the English language that even approached this strong, powerful woman of color who don't need no man for nothing and gets paid a 7-figure salary to say words in public. Second, did you notice how she gave the game away right at the very end of that quote? Oh yeah, these prices are totally down since 2022. Which, setting aside the fact that it is still a bald-faced lie, even with that caveat, because how many items on your grocery store shelf cost less today than they did 2 years ago? Bueller. But it's still an attempt to play that same dumb rhetorical game that they play with Biden inflation, because these people, as dumb and unexceptional as they are, they really do have a very deep and abiding contempt for your intelligence. They really do think they are very, very much smarter than you, because Baghdad Buckwheat thinks she can get away with saying, oh yeah, prices have come down from the insane heights that they started hitting immediately after we took over and started blasting trillions and trillions of dollars of fake money into the economy like a bunch of drunken sailors on the mother of all 72-hour shore leaves. And it's the same thing when she and all these other shameless lying douchebags try to tell you, oh yeah, inflation's gone way down from where it was a couple years ago. And the thing that gets conveniently omitted is, after our policies made the damn thing increase by 642% in the first calendar year after we got here. Which seems like a fairly obvious follow-up question, doesn't it? When the president's spokesperson claims they've reduced inflation, doesn't it seem like the next thing you would ask is, but didn't it increase 642% the first year that you guys were on the job? But since I am not a professional journalismer, maybe I am just hopelessly out of my depth here. Maybe there's a perfectly sound reason why an honest practitioner of the journalistic arts would fail to ask such a screamingly obvious follow-up question when he is so obviously having smoke blown directly up his bottom hole in such brazen fashion by such an unskilled liar. But here's what I do know. If the president himself were here with us right now, this is exactly what he would say. At least we beat Medicare, but we never saved Uncle Bozy. Dateline Chicago, Wednesday, 26 June. In this week's Pride Month update, LGBTQIA EIEIO activists erupted in rage and fury this week. There's a first, that never happened. After a young woman named Corbin Albert was selected for the U.S. national soccer team. And what did Miss Albert do that makes her presence on the roster so very intolerable? Well, she openly identifies as a Christian. It's weird that you have to say it that way now. And here's the really grotesque part, so brace yourself and make sure the children have turned away. She once reposted a sermon from her church in which the pastor criticized transgenderism. And did this cause a major 5-alarm rage-gasm on Rainbow Twitter? Oh, what do you think? You bet your sweet ass it did. We wouldn't be here if it didn't. Look, if you people would just start getting the memo that tolerance means you share the opinions of the radical left lunatic fringe, no exceptions, or else this stuff would be a lot easier. There wouldn't be the need for all this divisiveness if you damn bigots would just start having the correct opinions. Here's a small sampling of the very rational, very well-reasoned responses on Rainbow Twitter to the scandalous news of a straight Christian girl being on the U.S. national team. Quote, "Never thought I'd see the U.S. women's national team continue to choose a player like Corbin Albert after her homophobic, transphobic stuff. Never mind linking the Rapinos' injury post over their legacy of being an inclusively team historically filled with queer players. It's a shame and an embarrassment. Quote, it's a slap in the face to the LGBTQ community that has been a backbone of the U.S. women's national team for decades to continue to allow Corbin Albert to be part of this team without her publicly reckoning with how her hateful rhetoric not only harms fans, but also her very teammates. My God, take a chill pill there, Karen. You know how sometimes you read a thing and you can actually hear the sound of a cuckoo clock in your head? Yeah. Continuing on, quote, I'm not going to lie, but it feels homophobic to have Corbin Albert on this team instead of Alex Morgan. And look, I'm just going to throw this out there. You don't suppose she got selected for the team because she's better at playing soccer? And the coaching staff thinks she gives the team the best chance of winning? I know, it's a bunch of crazy talk, but sometimes it falls to me to play the contrarian, so here we are. And it's difficult not to notice that none of the LGBTQIA EIEIO activists who are engaged in the rage gasming make any sort of soccer-based argument for why Miss Albert shouldn't be on the roster. They are simply howling at the moon about how she should be excluded, nay, must be excluded, because she doesn't have a set of personal socio-political views that Rainbow Twitter finds acceptable. And you know what? Fuck them. Corbin Albert, you just became my favorite player on the U.S. women's national team. You go get him, girl. You are on that roster because you damn well earned your spot. Now get out there and shut the mouths of all those idiots and make them look like the bigoted fools they are. I pledge here and now that every goal you score will be mentioned right here on this program. Dateline, Washington, Thursday, 27 June. In a decision that some legal analysts are calling the biggest blow to the federal administrative state in the last 80 years, which means we love it already, the Supreme Court this week overturned the Chevron decision, which has held for over the last 40 years that government agencies possessed wide latitude to interpret the intent of the laws they are charged with enforcing. In describing the Chevron precedent, Chief Justice John Roberts began his majority opinion by saying, quote, if a court determines that a federal law is silent or ambiguous with respect to the specific issue at hand, the court must, at Chevron's second step, defer to the agency's interpretation if it is based on a permissible construction of the statute, end quote. And he goes on to say, quote, Congress in 1946 enacted the APA, the Administrative Procedure Act, as a check upon administrators whose zeal might otherwise have carried them to excesses not contemplated in legislation creating their offices. It was the culmination of a comprehensive rethinking of the place of administrative agencies in a regime of separated and divided powers, end quote. And here is where they get to the crux of the matter, quote, the difference that Chevron requires of courts reviewing agency action cannot be squared with the APA. In the decades between the enactment of the APA and this court's decision in Chevron, courts generally continued to review agency interpretations of the statutes they administer by independently examining each statute to determine its meaning, end quote. The point being, the courts have given too much latitude to the interpretive rights of the respective agencies under the APA, with the result that the agencies have enjoyed a sort of extrajudicial carte blanche to interpret laws and regulations as broadly or as narrowly or as self-servingly as they please. This decision, thankfully, starts to end that. And this is one hell of a good start. If the federal tentacle monster is ever to be dismantled in some meaningful way within our lifetimes, we need lots more decisions just like this one. We have had nearly one full century at this point in which the central government has only grown bigger, only grown more odious, more wasteful, more incompetent, and more corrupt. And if you've been wondering why the Democrat media complex has been so eager to assault the institutional credibility of the Supreme Court recently, well, there's your answer right there. Dateline, Brentwood, Tennessee, Friday, 28 June. In this week's Get Woke, Go Broke update, Tractor Supply has announced that after a prolonged and apparently quite severe customer backlash, they are abandoning all woke DEI nonsense with immediate effect. The company said in a statement, quote, we work hard to live up to our mission and values every day and represent the values of the communities and customers we serve. We have heard from customers that we have disappointed them. We have taken this feedback to heart. end quote. The statement goes on to announce the following measures. 1, we will no longer submit data to the Human Rights Campaign. 2, we will refocus our team member engagement groups on mentoring, networking, and supporting the business. Number 3, further focus on rural American priorities, including agricultural education, animal welfare, veteran causes, and being a good neighbor, and stop sponsoring non-business activities like pride festivals and voting campaigns. Number 4, eliminate DEI roles and retire our current DEI goals while still ensuring a respectful environment. Number 5, withdraw our carbon emission goals and focus on our land and water conservation efforts. And ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me say this a number of times. I'm going to say it again. The greatest weapons you have are your eyeballs and your wallet. Use them judiciously and wisely, and this madness will go away more quickly than you could ever imagine. So if there is a Tractor Supply near you, there isn't one near me, but if there's one near you, go there and spend some money and tell them this is why you are spending it. And the community of purple-haired transgender farmers, they will just have to get over their lack of representation, because did Tractor Supply have that much of an LGBTQIA EIEIO audience to begin with? I'm just saying. Here endeth the roundup. That is the week that was. May it rest in peace. And may Martin Mull rest in peace, who just passed away the other day. A comic genius, many decades ahead of his time. Godspeed to Mr. Mull. Fernwood forever. And with that, I pass the con to my distinguished colleague, your illustrious co-host, the man who is to the control board what Liberace is to the piano, the one and only, your friend and mine, Mr. Caucasian Sasquatch.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
Tactical nuke incoming!
He always tickles me with that intro, dude. That shit's. Hey, how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? I brought a few videos we're gonna take a look at. I got an AI rap battle between Trump and Biden. It was made a couple of weeks before the debate, but it's still funny and completely relevant if you could buy that. I got some lefty lunatics doing some lefty lunatic things and paying the price for it. I've got some other Soros nut job got arrested. I got a little bit about that. And Captain Curmudgeon has some history to discuss with us. So I think we're going to have a fairly decent show. It ought to be fairly beefy and meaty and have a flavor about it. What do you think about that type of stuff?
You had me at beefy and meaty, my friend.
Damn right. That's all we're after. High yield, mediocre, and aggressively average.
Goddamn right. And beefy and meaty to the last.
I kind of smell like onions. Do you remember that I smell like beef, kid?
No, refresh me.
Oh, I'll have to go find that clip. There's this meme from, I don't know, it might be from the freaking America's Funniest Home Video days, man. Like it's an old one. It's an old meme, and
a deep cut, if you will.
Yeah, it's ancient. In fact, Peanut Butter Kid. You remember Peanut Butter Kid?
I do remember Peanut Butter Kid.
Like, yeah, you know. Well, I smell like Beef Kid standing at the window for some reason, saying that he smells like beef, and he just keeps repeating it. And there's somebody asking him questions about it, but I'll go find it. We'll hunt that one down. I want to know where you want to start at on this. Do we go straight into the AI rap battle?
Yeah, go straight into the AI rap battle, because I still need a minute to catch my breath after the roundup.
I also have a Hawk Tuah AI song, if you're familiar with the Hawk Tuah girl.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna do some of this type of activity. We're gonna make sure we're not muted. Right, cool. Now we're gonna start with Mr. Obama over here. Now this is from High Res. And about a month ago, he started playing with various AIs where he raps out the lyrics, then sends it through the AI to change it into whoever he's trying to AI impersonate, right? So I appreciate it, Jonathan Nicola. You the man.
Thanks, John.
Boy Barry, aka Big O, and I'm the host and the judge of today's rap battle between Trump the Don and my good friend Biden.
Hey Biden, I know it's on that laptop hiding. You can fool your voters, but half the country, they know you're lying. I'll never go to jail, the DA keep on trying. All the billions you're supplying to Ukraine, people dying. You got blood on your hands, well your puppet masters do. They're coming after me, they should be coming after you. But we know the whole swamp is evil and that's the truth. You can go and ask Julian Assange for the proof. You said black people who don't vote for you are not black. You locked up tons in the 80s for some crack. A crisis at your border and of course you turned your back. What happened to forgiving college loans? Come on, Jack. You said you don't support gays a decade ago. Career politicians will say anything for your vote. At press conferences, you're reading what somebody else wrote. You're controlled by BlackRock and Vanguard like Trudeau. Your wife is not a doctor, but she says she is. Why, Joe? Hey, Joe, who wrote the 94 crime bill? Here's to the most famous president. 3 cheers. Your daughter said you showered with her well into her teen years. You said Obama was the first well-groomed black man. You eulogized Robert Byrd. Please give up the act, man. Messing with me, you messed up big time. Oh, I can't forget 10% to the big guy.
Boom.
Dude. All right. I don't know if he just if he wrote the lyrics himself, had AI write the lyrics. I do not know. I know he
How do you even tell anymore? Depending on how much you're willing to pay to the AI people, you can probably have them do the whole smash at this point, I think. Even writing the lyrics and everything.
I've been wanting to play with something like that just because it's evil. And I like doing bad things sometimes.
Yeah, it's pure evil, and I feel like I need to keep myself well apprised of the current state of the evil.
Have you heard about the organoids?
Mm-mm.
All right, so some group of absolute freaking units out there decided that they were going to do an experiment to see whether or not a brain cell could live on a chip. And they found out, yes, it could. And then they decided to see how many brain cells they could put on a chip. And they found out it was quite a bunch, but you have to use stem cells. And so rather than using stem cells from any other organism on Earth, which might be more suited for this purpose, what did they use? Guess. Give it to me. You know what they used? Human brain cells.
From aborted fetuses?
Well, they have to have a source from somewhere, although it's non-specific. But oh, my dear monkey of God, listen to me. This is exactly the transhumanistic pathway to a Skynet that thought it was human once. This isn't AI in the classic sense. This is alternate intelligence. This is a being which would be synonymous with organics.
Yeah, well, I think you have to categorize that as transhumanism rather than artificial intelligence, don't you?
It's not artificial intelligence; it's alternative intelligence. This thing learns,
but it's transhumanism, though. Ultimately,
it is. Samuel, welcome in, bud. Drop your link somewhere. I'll poke it and make it wiggle. Let's get that back up here. All right, so now we're going to do the Joe Biden section of this thing, right? He's got a few other little licks he's going to throw out, but you'll see.
Good luck, Joe. Good luck beating that creepy Joe, sleepy Joe. Can't wait to see what you got.
Hey, Trump, my legs and the kids, they would rub the hair. This is my wife, and this is my sister. Hey, how did I get here? What's going on? Ronald Trump. Who am I battling? If you're not black, then you don't vote for me. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. Hey, Pop was a bad dude. Why did you fight? Come on, man. This is my sister. Hey, how did I get here?
Well, Joe, that was pretty special. Let us know in the comments down below who you think won the rap battle. Who you'd like to see next.
I forgot about that time that he just got up and walked off in the middle of the interview.
That was the other time he pooped his pants.
Yeah, mother, I've just filled my diaper again. I need to get out of here quick.
All right. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the good stuff, baby. This is the good stuff. All right. So I went and dug up some. What's the name of the channel? We'll do it that way. Simp Saver Sam. If you're not familiar with the channel, go check him out. He does these compilations of different types of like weirdos being weird in public and acting like it's perfectly normal, stuff like that. You know, it's
we get a lot of that lately.
Oh God, it's too much. Everybody recognizes the symptoms here. One glance at this individual, and you have no doubt who she voted for. She's probably a teacher.
Oh yeah, I can tell you every single thing about that person's political worldview just from that still frame.
Exactly. But you're going to learn even more and very quickly. Hello, Matthew Anderson. Welcome in. Desert Goat, good to see you. Ernie Hatmaker, it's good to make your acquaintance. Michelle's Mobile Media. Let's see who all we got, actually. Let's do that right before we go into this, because this grates on my nerves.
Great to see everyone in the chat, as always.
Roll back. We all know who the first one was. It was the man, Scotty Waddles himself. He gets the gold.
The legend, the one and only Scotty Waddles.
Scotty Waddles gets the gold. We got American 101 who gets the silver. Scotty Waddles would also get the bronze, except that's not how they work. ATL News gets the bronze.
Yeah, Scotty Waddles was in my chat like 28 hours ahead of time.
Right? We got John Denicola, Oklahoma Outlaw Audits. Welcome in. Good to see you. Let's see. We got George and Bosco. Welcome back, folks. I missed y'all earlier. We got Witness in chat. Good to see you. Ben T has joined the chat. We have one Mrs. Ernie Hatmaker in chat.
Ernie Hatmaker.
Sort of homesteader type of thing over yonder on her channel. She does gardening stuff. Mr. Dr. Sean Berry has joined the chat. It's good to see you. Michelle's Mobile Media. I feel like I missed somebody there.
No, I think you covered it. Yeah, unless I'm
Raylene
falling
Queen
behind.
is in chat. It's good to see you. Jason Godet. Damn, good note. They just let anybody in here, man. But hey,
I know we can talk to the management.
Desert Goat, Samuel the Infamous, and Matthew Anderson. Grim Ben, welcome in, my brother.
Grim Ben, the man, the myth, the legend.
All right, I can't
Good to see you,
put it
sir.
off. What's up, AJot? Check this out.
Hello, AJot.
She's a political science major. She knows exactly how the world works.
Why is she majoring in something if she's 17 years old? Shouldn't she still be in high school?
Jesus Christ.
Time to pick a side. We don't have anymore.
You know, trans people sure do seem happy and well-adjusted, don't they?
All right. Well, I mean, say what you will, man, but that one's kind of tickling my pickle here. I mean, I like them a little crazy. Trust me, dude. They wouldn't be.
Just the slightest little provocation. It is full-on maximum volume sky screaming immediately.
Sure, I own my own vehicle and can leave. She can sky scream by her damn self, but I don't know. She's kind of cute.
And she's even rocking a half shirt so you can see her flabby little mutton top, and isn't that cute?
But I'll tell you, this is definitely a hot tub date. You want to put that girl through I like them a little wild, maybe a little unruly. Tiffany, welcome in, girl. Appreciate you coming. Smoking in G Sharp. Good to see you.
I didn't do anything. I sat on a pavement, and now I've got a bit of orange paint on me, and apparently that's a crime.
Maybe it's just the
Well,
accent.
the people in that
No,
building make
no,
decisions
I'm in love.
which are
Damn.
destroying the lives of people in Uganda.
I don't know why she's trying to act so innocent for, as if she's done nothing wrong. Her and a little group of Muppets.
Muppets.
Orange paint all over a building, and she's acting why she's getting arrested. You can just look at this girl
Hold on
and
now.
know she's got.
I was just innocently minding my own business, and they hogtied me and put me in the police van. I have no idea why.
Right.
I didn't do anything.
Good to see you, bud.
Of course, normally this is what the British cops do to you if you're suspected of racially insensitive social media posts.
Her? Nah, never.
Yeah, definitely not her. She must have done something serious.
Like actually violent.
I mean,
Her mom-
normally the pink hair gives you carte blanche to destroy pretty much any kind of public property you want. You have to really, really do something over the top extreme in order to get them to haul you away if you've got the pink hair ID.
I have a question for this woman here, this person, this individual here. I wouldn't want to assume anything. This individual here, is she also a political science major, perhaps?
I'm guessing probably so.
Is it political science or gender studies? Because I would have labeled that last chick dude chick. God, they
Major in poli sci, minor in gender studies.
She should have got that underwater basket weaving while she had the chance.
And yes, with a double minor in underwater lesbian space scissoring.
She's acting why she's getting arrested. You can just look at this girl and know she's got the same IQ as a flipping carrot, mate. Every week it seems like this same girl is doing more and more dumb shit. I don't know how she hasn't gone to prison yet. That would sort the situation, wouldn't it?
How old are you?
Oh boy, I'm 24.
So if you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be?
34.
These people vote.
Unfortunately,
that baby votes.
You've heard me say it before. I'm gonna say it again. Universal suffrage was not a good idea.
What?
This person right here that you see currently getting her plastic face replastiqued votes.
That is one hell of a plexi face right there.
I love this
person's
one.
actual face.
What's that?
I'm with you, Ajot. What the actual fuck?
Right? Desert
What the
goat.
actual fuck was that? That's worse than Nancy Pelosi, and she's got her belly button in the middle of her forehead.
Dude, you got me with that one. Yeah, ew.
Like, was that what they were trying to make your face look like that? That's what you paid for?
I believe it is. I believe so. She's actually relatively famous on TikTok, but then again, it is a mind weapon. So, you know.
What's that?
I'm here.
All right. So, right now, my guess is her mother is mad at her and wants her to get a job. And her father wouldn't give her her $27 for her latte this morning.
Yes.
You want to
Probably
try?
not far off. I need to hug myself.
I don't know what to do. But
I'm trying to live my best blue-haired life.
I love you. I'm so sorry that you're scared.
This is a 20 some odd year old girl with varicose veins.
And here's the thing. Now, we obviously are both people who spend a lot of our lives being on camera for public consumption. However,
Sure.
the thing I cannot fathom for the life of me is at my lowest emotional moments when I'm feeling the absolute worst. Do I have an instinct to put myself on camera and just emote like a blubbering fool so that hopefully millions of people will watch me? No, I do not. And I don't understand people who do, because that's fucking mental.
I can understand putting something poignant up, things that touch your soul in a way that nothing else does. But this is just
Okay, maybe if it's
I-
actual poignancy, but not contrived poignancy. Like
that's what I'm saying. This isn't poignant. That was the distinction
Yeah.
I was making between this and doing some bit of soul jerking lyric or doggerel from history. That's but this has no value to it other than to the individual currently having a nervous breakdown over there.
But you'll notice that when hopelessly self-absorbed idiots like this woman make videos like these, they always select the most maudlin, depressing piano music they can find to put on the soundtrack behind it.
Yeah.
Because when liberals make videos, they always pick music that tells the viewer the emotions they are supposed to feel. It's the most
Right.
consistent thing on planet Earth, and that's exactly what this chick is doing right here. I want you to feel these kinds of emotions when you watch my video, and so I am selecting music that promotes that cause.
Exactly. I want you to feel emotions, so I'm selecting music that triggers those emotions.
Yep.
But it's okay to be.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. Nothing about this is okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help.
Thing I think of when I see these videos.
Thank you, young Michael Jordan.
Set up the camera. Right. 3, 2, 1. And then mental breakdown commences. You're like, I don't know, man.
Is there some value to being able to have a mental breakdown and then get on with your life?
I guess it depends on how many views you get, doesn't it?
Ooh, that touche. You got me to box on that one. Okay.
My mental breakdown got such and such 1,000 views, so I must have validated my feelings, right?
If you've ever been through an actual mental breakdown where the clouds turn to cotton candy and the world no longer seems real, you realize when they say it's a very vulnerable thing to do, you don't have the conscious capability of mitigating that when you're that vulnerable. That's psychotic. The whole concept is psychotic. There's no way I could
it is cynical and calculated and 100% fake, and I am unable to think anything else about it.
Right.
You don't find that suspicious?
Right.
How many genders are there?
There's a spectrum of genders. You can't really say.
Like an unlimited amount, you would say? Yeah. Do you think that, like, if a man identified as a woman, he should be able to go into the women's restroom?
Yeah.
If he had, like, let's say he still had, like, a and everything like that, and he just identifies a woman, that's cool for him to go in there?
Yeah. I mean, if they're a woman, they're a woman. Yeah.
You think you can be a woman with a... Fair enough.
Well, I'm out, guys. This is what's cool now. I think I'm done. I no longer have any connection.
I'm not sure if I want to be saying those things.
I don't know who does his editing, but that dude is on point, son. Absolutely.
I mean, if you say you're a woman, then you're a woman. So it's all cool, right?
Okay, so we got a tantrum kid coming
Sure,
up.
some women have a big 10-inch swinging dick. We don't need to judge.
All right, so I don't have a whole lot of shits to give about what someone identifies as long as they keep it in their pants and don't try to prove it.
Yeah, and don't ask me to celebrate whatever it is thing you do with your wedding tackle. Just stop. I'm not going to. I don't give a shit.
But I'm not going to, so we can move on with the conversation. But as far as like whatever you want to do, you do you, as long as it doesn't interfere with what someone else is trying to do. So naturally, perhaps with your big woman's penis, don't go into a dressing room and get naked and hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ask anybody to celebrate what Lady Curmudgeon and I do behind our bedroom door, and all I want is the same courtesy in return. But I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not entitled to that same courtesy because I have to celebrate and affirm and say how awesome it is when the LGBTQIAEIEIO community does whatever it is they do. I have to affirm and celebrate that, but that's just how that all works now. That's the social climate in which we live.
Okay, bud. You live there. You're the one in California. You deal with that.
Things and knowing it's
Working
going
on it.
is mad. I mean, think if her parents see that. I mean, her parents might just be as bad as her, but I don't know. If you think those things, maybe don't say them on camera. And then this next clip could be even crazier.
There's a concept.
They're playing with her baby, and she misgendered the flight attendant, so they wouldn't let her fly. Crazy, man.
Oh, I heard about that.
Denied boarding myself, my 16-month-old son, my mother. They took our luggage on the plane, which has my thyroid medication, which I'll be very sick without, my mother's medication. They basically said tough luck. And they won't tell me exactly what I said, but what happened, and I will tell you what happened right now. I was speaking to one of the flight attendants, got their pronouns wrong. The other flight attendant didn't like it. I said, I'm really sorry. I'm not very versed with pronouns. I was holding my son. He was having a temper tantrum. I had the car seat on my back. I wasn't really focusing on anything except getting my son's car seat on the flight and getting him comfortable and safe, and him, because now it's his nap time. You can see he's kind of falling asleep. They're saying that it's a hate crime that I did, that I might not even.
Okay, so let me point this out. Kids having a fit. You ever had to go on like a road trip or something with a kid? You ever had to fly with a kid?
Oh yes.
So the road tripping is bad, but the airplane is probably the worst thing to take a kid too young to understand why his ears hurt. Right? So.
And you get thrown off the flight over goddamn pronoun politics. And how can that even be allowed to happen? Like, in what world is it okay for the airline to do that? You have to be fucking shitting me.
Yeah. But keep in mind, this kid was freaking out 20 minutes ago and is now perfectly chill sitting over there taking a nap, which is exactly what it would be doing on the flight, probably. Probably. Because they can only do that for so long.
But we have actually created a climate now where in certain scenarios, if you commit the dastardly crime of speaking your own native language correctly, you can be thrown off a fucking airplane.
Yeah, the King's English, as it were.
And apparently with absolutely no recourse to anything. And that's madness. That is stark freaking raving madness. I'm sorry.
It is. It really is. It's like chewing on the soap, foaming at the mouth madness. It's the kind of stuff to get you put down if you're an animal.
Yes.
United,
exactly.
We don't even know if we're going to get back today. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what my rights are here. I think that it's.
So misgendering gets you thrown off flights now? What the hell is going
Apparently
on, man?
It can.
I mean,
I bet it
this
wasn't
is the
Southwest.
CEO of United Airlines. I haven't got to say anything. Photo explains itself, so you can see why the situation got.
Southwest is relatively famous for being absolutely savage.
And every other airline wants to have, a certain number of transgender pilots and LGBTQ flight crew, and that's the important thing. That's what makes the world better, I guess, or so the airlines keep telling us. Personally, I would like to just have a good pilot who's not going to crash the airplane, but I guess that makes me a bigot now.
I just want to land safely. That's it. That's all. And given that planes nowadays fall apart.
And I am not going to have a better view of the airline I fly on if they have transgender flight crews or whatever the hell kind of inclusivity and diversity they are going for this week. Does anybody actually care about that? Oh, I'm sure glad I flew on such a diverse airline. Has anyone ever said that in the history of the world? I guarantee you they have not.
Look at this other Chad. He's like, yeah, I got an idea. I'll help. We can do this. Yep. Just toss him in the ditch.
Do it again. Oh, fucking douche.
I tell you what. This chick is an absolute Chad. She's
hell yeah.
She just walked up, caught a hold of that chick's ponytail, and started walking away.
That was beautiful. Give me lots more of that.
Girl's hair at the end. She had enough of that shit. She was like, look, I'm trying to get my kids places. And then she just started throwing left hooks at this girl. She kind of had it coming, really.
The reason why I don't use the term good morning, did you know back in slavery days?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
After the masters had beaten us, taken our children, raped us, hung us,
Who's
burned
us, sweetheart?
and then left us.
You
in a
never
dark
got beat by a slave master, honey.
They would literally open up.
You don't know what's on her fet life. You can't know that. That's as bad as misgendering hers to think that she's not a powerful, upstanding woman.
After the slave masters beat us. Yeah. Show me your scars, Toots. Let's see them.
Please. She's kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. Would smash.
Up the door, and they would greet us by saying, "Did you have a good morning?" Meaning, did you cry all night over the things that we've done to your loved ones? So this is the reason why I took good morning out of my vocabulary, because truly, if you think about it, there is absolutely nothing good about morning.
What the fuck did that person just say?
I don't know, but I've got 2 seconds over here, and I'm going to use them because I've got to know now, because I've read this before somewhere.
Yes, the overuse and overly dramatic use of the word literally is a pet peeve that I absolutely concur with.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. The earliest known use of the verb good morning is in the 1800s. For good morning is from 1802 in the writing of George Coleman, a playwright theater manager. It is also recorded as an interjection from the Middle English period of between 1150 to 1500, which may have probably been better translated as good morrow.
So if I pass that chick on the street and innocently say good morning, is she going to say shut up, racist?
Probably. That would be my guess.
I feel like she probably would.
Oh my. Oh my.
Ashe, ashe.
What the hell are you talking about?
Listen,
It looks like she kind of looks like the chick from Star Trek Discovery, STD.
You're just living an
I
unhappy life.
had kind of hoped he would bring up the definition and see if he found a different one. But I guess we're the only people who do that kind of in-depth.
Of all the things to get offended about, I mean, that's really scraping the bottom of the. You have to be trying really, really hard to get offended about stupid shit if you're getting offended about people saying good morning.
It's the reason they wake up in the morning.
I know it's the entire animating principle of their entire lives is looking for things to be offended by. It really is quite remarkable.
I'm amazed.
It says Christy is on all fours facing the headboard, her ASS raised high in the air, and I'm straddling her back as if I was riding a dog or something, but backward, my knees resting on the mattress, my half hard, and I'm facing Sabrina, who is staring into Christy's spread open.
Do you want to know what this is?
I think I already do.
What do you think you're looking at? You heard what he said.
I think I'm looking at a parent in a school board meeting reading from one of the books in the school library.
Amen, sister. You nailed it. Absolutely. So, how is it that you can go check out something from your grade school library that you can't read aloud in a public meeting of the school board members, who are all adults, by the way?
What an outstanding question that is.
Oh, is it?
It says, with a determined expression, her smile seems tortured, and she's wetting her own lips by herself and tracing her glistening index finger across them, like she's applying lip gloss. With both my hands, I keep Christy's ASS and spread open.
Hello, Renaissance Rogue. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming by.
Indeed, we do.
You want to try some of that? Give me some radio announcer voice. Everybody loves that stuff.
What do you want me to say in the radio announcer voice?
Well,
Can't
that's
think of
good.
anything very good off the top of my head.
I know. You got to work
Elvis
on
Presley and Johnny Cash this weekend, 8 o'clock.
Sunday. We should totally do an ad. Fuck, we suck.
$18 buys your seat, but you'll only need the edge.
And this goes on and on and on. Like that's a long
Flipping adult.
No, I think you should let it run because I love these videos. This is exactly what parents need to be doing all across the fruited plain.
And I just want to say one thing I am truly grateful for is Planet Fitness. They have been awesome during my transition.
Does anyone know the underground meaning of the pineapple?
Is there an underground meaning of a pineapple?
Yes. And the FetLife community, which is a swingers group, a various swingers group, pineapples are utilized to indicate that you are a swinger family, and the arrangement of a pineapple can determine whether you are happily ensconced, looking for partners, or completely open.
Really?
Yes. So
sometimes I feel like I'm just hopelessly naive about the world.
Bro, in the early days of eBay, I ordered a pineapple from a chick that was relatively local, like a couple hours away. And rather than have it delivered, I told her I'd come pick it up. She said that was fine. She gave me a time and an address, and I went and got the pineapple and left. And when I got home, I Googled what a pineapple meant and found out what it meant and thought, I think I just stole someone's pineapple.
Yeah, that must have been a pretty horrifying moment.
It was very strange, dude. I'm not really going to get into it right now because it was just very odd. It was very odd. There were a lot of oddities, but check this dude out.
Ever since I talked to management and let them know I was transitioning, they let me use the locker room that I identify with. So they have been fantastic. Little things like that just go a long ways in validating me and affirming me and letting me know that that's a safe space for me to exist in.
So this dude thinks he's a chick? Is that what we're looking at?
We're in the early days of transition, according to him, her, them, they.
So he just goes up to the desk and says, "I identify as a chick now, so I'm going to use the ladies' locker room," and they just say, "Okay, more power to you."
Well, I mean,
can't imagine why they've been losing so much business. It's a real mystery.
No idea, dude. It's totally
no idea.
I don't invest in them.
Now going.
Okay, this is the fatness spectrum. A small fat is a size 18 and lower, 1X or 2X. I'm a 4X, 5X. I'm a size 26, sometimes 28. I am the super.
And you're going to be dead before age 30.
What? There's not a variation of two sizes, honey. It's not that much.
No.
Maybe one and a half would be like water weight or bad sizing, but
each time I see one of these fat positivity videos, it makes me sad because we've seen a spate recently, as you might expect, of body positivity influencers, quote unquote, they keep dropping dead right and left because of course they do. Because being gigantically fat is not healthy and it makes you die. So much for your positivity, I guess. Is it still positive when you're freaking dead?
I'm positive.
How far are you willing to carry your positivity exactly?
All the way to the grave.
Seems so.
I'm speaking over.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna.
You know, in jobs, they require someone to call them by their preferred pronouns.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
great.
Don't you think that as a Christian, if one of our commandments is do not lie, and we are supposed to uphold truth, don't you think that would be against our religion and disrespecting our religion?
Wow. Okay.
Infinifat. I love it. I'm gonna remember that one.
That's interesting.
I'm a little confused by that.
So, like, if I'm forced to call someone a girl when I obviously know they're a guy, and it's very obvious.
I think that's a you problem. I'm not gonna lie. I think that.
Well, can I say that to them too? The trans, like that's a you problem.
Yeah, you can. It goes both ways.
You could.
You know, in jobs, they require someone to call them by their preferred pronouns.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
great.
Don't you think that as a Christian, if one of our commandments is do not lie, and we are supposed to uphold truth, don't you think that would be against our religion and disrespecting our religion?
I'm a little confused by that.
So, like, if I'm forced to call someone a girl when I obviously know they're a guy, and it's very obvious.
I think that's a you problem. I'm not gonna lie. I think that.
Well, can I say that to them? Like that's a you problem.
Yeah, you can. It goes both ways.
You could.
I could, right? But since I'm a Christian, all of a sudden, no one cares about Jesus. No one cares about disrespecting.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a shit about Jesus. He's
if
like
I get slapped in the face, I should be able to slap whatever gender person in the face too.
Yeah,
equal.
Wow. That is a false equivalency. I want to run back through that for a second.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a shit about Jesus. He's
if
like
I get slapped in the face, I should be able to slap whatever gender person in the face too.
Yeah, but let me tell you a little something about that one, big boy. You can slap them, but what the nearest big redneck does to you might be the consequences.
Yeah, there might be a consequence to that behavior, mightn't there?
Because it doesn't seem to really matter whether it's a little girl or a twink. The nearest large redneck tends to take offense to somebody smacking around something that looks feminine.
Yep. Because that is a perfectly natural, innate, ingrained reaction that male human beings have to seeing female human beings mistreated in their presence.
In an American context, it doesn't even necessarily have to be feminine. It just has to be less strong because we always root for underdog. That's an American.
Absolutely. You raise an excellent point. Any person who is at an obvious physical disadvantage, if you see that person being abused, you want to assist that person.
Exactly.
Equality.
You want to know what's fat phobic? The photo booths. And here's why. Only one fat bitch fits in here. We tried to both get in, and I got stuck.
I hope you're gonna pick on.
You got this.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
I thought the word phobic was something.
That is absolutely nightmarish, dude. Why not invent a line of fat photo booths and market that rather than just saying, oh, everything hates me because I'm fat, when that's
and
not actually.
Renaissance Rogue just hit it out of the park. I am compelled to defend anything that smells strongly of damsel. Could not have put it any better myself.
Exactly. But my point in saying that it's a very American culturally to defend anything that can't defend itself, that should not be capable of defending themselves, and try. We respect heart almost over everything else. Merit, then
one
heart.
It's one of the most basic moral principles that exist in civilization, that you should come to the aid of a person who is being abused by a bigger, stronger person.
Agreed. What's up, B? Welcome in, bud.
If Donald Trump wins, there are going to be a lot of angry people. I can't promise that there won't be some fighting.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
But if Donald Trump wins and starts trying to implement some of these measures to take away even more rights, you're not going to want to be around for that fight. I can fucking promise you that.
What
You're
rights,
not going to want
dude?
your family to be around for that fight. Because people will die.
Quickly.
People will die. You don't
Rapidly.
know what that is.
Die. People
like.
will die.
You have no clue what that's like. So keep thinking that you're ready for it. Because I can promise you, you're not.
I bet this idiot was saying all the same stuff about the China virus, too. People are going to die if you don't do the thing I want you to do.
And
their blood will be on your hands.
This guy who does an angry stream, he's always screaming at the camera about people not eating right and how you have to have 3 beans every meal, and it's wild to me. It is just so wild to me.
I know that the things that people choose to get upset about really are a thing to behold.
It is an amazing thing. And if you go and look at the description on my channel, it tells you that I'm here to laugh at people, including you, if you should do something stupid enough to land in one of these freaking compilations. We will all enjoy it, and it's nothing. I don't want to smoke with nobody, but I really don't care if you try it. Go ahead.
Yep.
Feel free.
Honest.
As a nice, easy answer, yes.
I think they're actually scaring people. I appreciate this video because it actually gave me a laugh.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
As a nice, easy answer, yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
Do you guys think that women, if we were to get into a war, should be enlisted in the draft?
No.
No.
I don't really have like an opinion on it. Like, I feel like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I don't think women should be drafted because at the end of the day, it wouldn't really help the war in any much way. Like you said, the drone.
Well, that's a really sexist statement of you.
No,
to make.
because like I'm thinking frontline physical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're saying, oh,
Tradwife trending on X today. Interesting.
Seriously.
In other news, they're debating the draft in Congress.
She just became a tradwife and she had no idea.
The very second that freaking pen hits paper, she's like, hold up. Wait a minute.
Yep. Oh, wait.
should they have a place in the war? Yeah, I feel like if a woman wants to be able to be in the war,
We're
yeah,
talking about force, though, right?
yeah, no force.
So then, for those of you that said you were feminists, do you see any inconsistency between saying that you want equality, but you're cool with sending men to run into machine guns to protect your society? Does anyone wrestle with that?
How do you reconcile that? Yeah. No, you only want the equality that benefits women.
No.
Scott, congratulations. Half of them just say they are, just to follow the whole trend. They don't actually know what they're talking about. And Charlie was completely right. He hit him with the crickets, mate. These lot don't know what they're talking about. And he was completely right. They want equality when it suits them, not the other way around.
They want all the benefits and none of the negatives. I'm taking action with Just Stop Oil. All right, let's look at the symptoms here.
I
We have
want
bad
self-serving equality.
weak chin, androgynous hairdo,
Yes.
cracker sack first shirt. I'm gonna. We have a choker. Feminine. I'm saying this is a male mask presenting feminine. This is another gender studies person.
She's going to make some young man very happy one day.
Gonna make some young Therian very unhappy someday.
The demand that the UK government commits to signing the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty and promises to stop burning fossil fuels by 2030. Today, we'll be taking action at Stonehenge the day before the solstice.
But now Harry Potter's having a midlife crisis.
Oh, she's one of the Stonehenge vandalizers?
Listen. I got a word to say. I got a word to
fuck you so hard, chick.
All right, so this is a monument that was raised somewhere around 7,000 years ago, and in the entirety of human history of its existence, this is the lowest intelligence individual to have ever visited the fucking site.
Yes, significantly less intelligent and less wise than the ancient druids who raised the monument in the first place. No contest.
Oh, wow. I actually wrote the other day when you were talking about how you might be late. I actually wrote part of an intro monologue, and then you showed up, and I just kind of abandoned it, and that was part of it. Actually, I've been good.
I don't know if you saw my video the other day about Stonehenge. This was the Muppet that threw orange paint over a 5,000-year-old monument, trying to spread the message about stop driving cars. I mean, what a flipping donut. Pretty sure this guy didn't walk.
All right, I want to be perfectly clear. That gives Muppets Everywhere a bad name. What's up, Miss Flunk?
Because obviously Neolithic age Britons 5,000 and 6,000 years ago were burning a hell of a lot of fossil fuels in order to build stone.
Yeah, right.
So this protest makes perfect intellectual sense.
Do you know how much that fossil fuel those stones took to move?
Yeah, quite. I mean, they were burning crude oil and coal night and day, running the trucks and tractors to haul those stones up onto Salisbury Plain. Man, I tell you.
All right, how much time do you need to do your history bit that you want to do? You got what?
I was just gonna do a vacation report. I can do it whenever you want.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I got another little thing up over here, and we're probably gonna get hit with all kinds of freaking copyrights, but we'll see how this works out. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? I'm enjoying it.
Indeed.
Are you familiar with Haktua, girl?
Mm-mm.
Oh my. Give me 2 seconds, and I will show you the original Haktua, so that you're not completely lost on this one.
All right, 2 seconds. You are on the clock.
On the clock. 2 seconds, mate. Do you remember how the guy that was cooking for Turkish had his 5 minutes? It's going to be kind of like that. Kind of a weird thing. So apparently someone was wandering around freaking somewhere interviewing drunk women. And this occurred.
How do you get?
All right. The original Haktua. Right.
Get over a breakup?
Get drunk. Like we're doing right now.
Y'all get over a breakup right
The
now?
only way to get over one is get under another. Amen.
Wow.
So you got a side piece.
Maybe I got 3. Maybe I got 7.
How many's on your roster?
There's only one I want, but so he's serious. I'm a boy.
So how many you got on your roster right now?
Maybe 4. She said 1.
Maybe 4. How many you got on your roster?
None.
You trying to add one to it?
Add 1?
Yeah, you trying to add one
that
more?
you?
To it? Yeah, that's me.
Maybe I don't know.
So I can get your number?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Leave a message to your last. Leave a message to your last body.
You Pookie forever.
They must have been doing the right thing.
What can I say?
Okay.
Make the cobwebs off the same. How are you posting this, bro? This is my wife. What makes me wifey material?
What makes her wifey material?
That fat you got.
For real, turn around. Let me see.
She got a like, hey,
Right? There's nothing I don't love about this.
To give it to 360.
It's black girl.
She's got that accent too.
You got to answer this. You got it.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you got to give him that. Spit on
Wow.
I don't get
the Haktua heard round the world.
Indeed.
All right. So now that we understand what we're working with, right? This is what my man started with, and this is what he came up with. So I gotta say, I'm fairly impressed. I'm kind of digging on it.
Underneath the moonlight, with stars shining bright, she went up to a battle that night. What a pretty sight! She polished my knob with a twist and a glide. She made me go crazy every time. Delight. I think her name was Haley. Where'd you run? You were hotter than a summer's day, hotter than the sun. She said she liked that shot, didn't want to see my face. I beat the cobwebs off that day, and some ran in place. The last thing I remember, she whispered, I love you, keep forever. Now stuck with her memory, searching for her, never saying never. I woke up next morning, some bed all alone. All I recall is her giggles echoing forevermore. She moved like a freeze, left me in a spin. I think her name was Haley, or maybe I missed that win. I think her name was Haley. Where'd you run? You were hotter than a summer's day, hotter than the sun.
All right, that's about all of that I'm gonna be able to tolerate, bro. I dig it. I do dig it, man. I was walking through Walmart earlier and I came across that and started giggling maniacally in the middle of public. Everybody looked at me like I'd creeping them out. Right? All right. What's our vacation doings? What'd you do? What's the update on that?
Well, I'm sharing presently. All right.
Cool.
Let's add this to the stage.
Yeet.
Come on now, let's add this to the stage.
You can do it. Come on,
Killing me,
little
Google.
You can do it. Okay. We're gonna make this happen. Yeet. There we go.
There we go.
All
right. Let me start this slideshow here. And slideshow commence. That's what I'm talking about.
It's the good stuff, man.
Come on.
Let me guess. This is the Hat Man hiding in a dark room.
It's not happening, is it?
Doesn't seem promising. Okay, I tell you what. Drop that back down and try that again.
God damn it.
And while we do that,
Soros back California.
I will do this because
I'm just gonna try it again.
Right. You only you can take it down from backstage. I can't remove it. You have to. So I found this popped up on my scroll this
I'm
morning.
removing it.
Gaston's ethics and integrity top official faces Soros-backed California DEA Gaston's ethics and integrity top official faces 11 felony charges. There she is. There she is. What did I tell you about the specific demographic that just loves selling out the country? They're selfish. They're greedy. All they care about is themselves. Yeah? In a significant blow to Soros-backed LA County District Attorney Gaston's administration, Diana Teran, one of the top officials tasked with maintaining ethics and integrity, is facing 11 serious felony charges.
Can I speak in defense of felony charges in general? There is no non-serious felony charge. If you sit down and look at the felonies that you can be charged with, there's not very many on that list that you look at and go, oh, well, I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. Usually
Which is
there's
kind
not.
of the whole point of having a distinction between felonies and misdemeanors.
The only ones that fall into that category typically are things involving firearms, explosive devices, and counterfeit money, because It's only illegal to do some things if you do it too good. Hey, let it just sit there. We're
Right.
gonna let that just percolate. Oh, okay. Action.
I'm going to see if this one works. All right, slideshow. Work with me. Fingers crossed. It looks promising. Blue Ring of Death is going to.
I think we lost everything on that
Gonna
end.
work out.
Oh, you're back. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that. My bad.
Happens. Still
Well,
working
let's
on
just
techniques.
Let that percolate. So yeah, we went to for our little respective 50th.
I'm assuming.
Are we still
y'all can hear
here?
me. You're glitching in and out on me. I don't think it's me.
Yeah, did I just? I feel like I wrecked the entire fucking show.
Editing
It's not
exists,
worth it.
dude. You totally fix it in post.
Yeah, clearly, I have exceeded my hardware capacity. But anyway, Monday morning, before we check into Queen Mary, we go and visit USS Iowa, which is only about 15 minutes north of where Queen Mary is. I would have felt like a real idiot if we had gone all the way up there and not seen the Iowa. In addition, Iowa has only been moored there in San Pedro as a museum ship for about 10 years now, and they're doing a great job with her. She's in fantastic condition. It is my first battleship that I have ever been aboard. She is the lead ship of the Iowa class, obviously the most advanced battleship type that was built by us or probably any other country. She goes into service in the middle of 1943, and she already is terribly outdated, just like all battleships were really after the Pearl Harbor attack. Just kind of how things worked out. She's a magnificent ship, but she was so outmoded already by the time she goes into service that she winds up never, believe it or not, firing at any other surface targets for the duration of the war. She gets reduced, much like all of the other battleships and heavy cruisers, to shore bombardment in the Pacific for your various marine invasions, your Saipan and your Iwo Jima and so on. But and they really don't get a good sense of how much modifications they made to the Iowa class. There was still 3 of them remaining in the 80s, and they pulled them out of mothballs and installed a bunch of newer gear, a bunch of like missile launcher equipment and various 2 or 3 different types of missile launchers. So really clutters up a lot of the back part of the deck too. You look at the old pictures pre-refit, and it's really just a lot of empty deck back there. But now you've got all kinds of missile launching gear and range finders, and it winds up looking like sort of a weird mishmash of a World War II battleship and some sort of 1980s era cruiser. I was a little bit disappointed of how much of the deck currently is painted plywood instead of actual deck planking, but that's a pretty minor gripe. I understand they are in the process of renovating the whole thing so that soon in the next year or two there will be proper deck planking throughout. Really, really fantastic, illustrative museum ship. Good presentation. I do highly recommend it, but I recommend Queen Mary even more highly because if you're looking for a place to go and spend a bunch of money and feel good about the fact that you spent a bunch of money, I can't recommend a place like that more highly. Or, ship museums in general, because if you want to spend your money judiciously, spend it to the end of preserving an invaluable, irreplaceable historic resource that if it ever goes away, it's gone and it's never coming back, and there is no longer any way to directly interact with a great and very important period and type of history. Queen Mary went out of service in 1967. She went and has been moored in Long Beach ever since then. She's actually been moored in Long Beach about twice as long as she was ever actually in service. And what a great show of foresight and value of history that the city of Long Beach showed in 1967 when they bid on her ownership, and the only other two bidders were salvage yards. So either she goes to Long Beach and becomes a tourist attraction, or she goes to the breaker's yard and gets reduced to scrap. And what a tragedy that would have been, because there's no other place you can go to experience that particular slice of history. And I think they are on the right track now, brighter than they've been perhaps in many recent years as far as how they're doing the presentation. She actually shut down in early 2020 when the China virus was just hitting. They only opened her back up less than a year ago. And it was only last month that they opened her back up with full hotel capacity, which means all of the former first class staterooms are currently available to rent as hotel rooms. And what a fantastic experience, because I didn't appreciate until we got there just how much of the original work still remains intact. I'm talking about just hardwood panels and wainscots every place you look. Even just in our little stateroom, you've got maple above mahogany all the way around, except for a couple of walls where there were some very unfortunate design decisions made in the 1960s where they actually covered up hardwood panels with 1960s wallpaper.
Yeah,
but I understand that.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I understand that currently they are in the process of rectifying that, and since she has opened back up, she is now being directly administered by the city of Long Beach, whereas before they have always had some sort of company they were contracting the management of the site out to, and that has resulted in some pretty terrible things over the years, or not terrible, but maybe just annoying, because as I understand it from some of the videos I've watched in recent weeks, that before she was shut down in early 2020, the people who were managing the ship had gone way overboard in terms of marketing her as a supernatural paranormal attraction for the ghost story freaks, to the point where if you went and tried to visit the ship as the historical attraction it is, then you would be annoyed and bombarded with ghost story YouTubers running around the hall every which way, making little ghost story videos. But it would seem they have largely rectified that, because I didn't see any of that sort of thing. They still have little ghost story tours each night, and whatever. If it helps the revenue, then so be it. But that absolutely should not be the primary focus of the attraction, because the thing that you're selling, your product, is the history. And there seems to be a better understanding of that now with the people from the city who are administering the attraction now, because the goal seems to be getting her as close as possible to her 1936 configuration, and it seems like they're making really great progress toward that goal and toward that end. And just like with Iowa, there is still more painted plywood instead of deck blanking than you would like. They're working on that. I understand she's turning a pretty good monthly profit right now, and they should be able to open back all the things that are still unopened that they would like to be opened in the future. And one thing that was really weird was lots of Australian people with little children. Don't know why they were Australian. It's absolutely not a place you should ever take little kids to. If you're an adult history fan, it's perfect, fantastic, but little kids. I don't know how this happens. I feel like somebody might have been taken in by an unscrupulous travel agent in Sydney or Melbourne somewhere, because I'm seriously, families with little kids running around in swimsuits like they think they're on a cruise ship. I have no idea what's going on with that. But for our purposes, what a fantastic experience. We almost didn't get to see the Grand Salon because we didn't know beforehand, but it's the former first class dining room. It's the grandest space on the ship, and it's where they have a Sunday brunch every week. And apparently, in the first part of the week, it's not normally open to anyone. But we kept trying every couple hours, and finally, eventually, we encountered an unlocked door and ingressed the space and spent about 10 minutes wandering around taking pictures, and nobody hassled us. So it would have been incredibly disappointing if we hadn't have gotten to see that space. But and they also have a Winston Churchill museum where engine room number 1 used to be, which is a fine use of the space. And I got to see Churchill's humidor, and how badass is that?
That's cool. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I've got a 5-minute video. You want to end on that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So this is from Ryan Long, and he's proposing when you're the nice guy she finally settles down with after all the bullshit.
For years, I used to be with these toxic men who would just call me up drunk and use my body for whatever they wanted to, sometimes 2-3 men at a time. So it's just so nice to be with a nice guy that sometimes we don't even sleep together for months.
I mean, it'd be nice to have sex sometimes.
I just don't have the sex drive like I used to. I guess I'm all f***ed out. Can you move over? You're taking up too much space. You know, after years and years and years and years of just taking dick, it's so nice to just find my person. Todd!
Coming.
I used to just have sex first night, no exceptions. And now I'm taking it slow.
She made me wait 4 months. Her past doesn't matter to me, but I do wish she would stop talking about it.
Oh my God, I used to be such a dick fiend. Brings me back.
I am feeling a little frisky.
I told you my trauma's acting up this month. I used to have terrible daddy issues too. Now I found someone who's more like a brother. I told you I'm not like that anymore. No, I just used to have this toxic sex drive that Todd has helped me curb. Oh my God, that sounded bad. We have sex sometimes. It's just a different type, like nicer, more feminine. Actually, that sounded kind of bad, didn't it? It's just different than what the other men used to do to me, you know?
It's just regular.
I find it just gross, you know? Really hit rock bottom looks-wise. Who am I trying to impress?
Oh. She definitely looked a lot hotter back then. Maybe she'll get back there.
There you go. The perils of online dating.
God, that is beautiful.
Oh, and the toxic men that I used to bang used to get in fights and stuff like that and beat people up. Todd's probably never even been in a fight, probably never even punched anyone. If the toxic men I banged were here right now, they'd probably just kick the shit out of him. He'd probably just take it and move on like a nice guy, which is what I want. He's a little bit of a bitch, if I'm being honest. You know, my Todd never tells me what to do. I went to Vegas with my girls for 4 weeks. He never said anything.
I mean, I thought you could have maybe returned some of my calls.
I told you Nevada has bad reception.
I usually just let her win arguments. You know, it's just not worth it.
Todd, I'm going out with one of my guy friends right now.
Okay.
So you're just going to let me do that? You're not even a little bit jealous?
I mean, I prefer you didn't.
Don't tell me what to do. Look at you. You're f***ing nothing. You small dick. Pussy.
Why are you saying these things?
I'm sorry. I'm just in a mood. I think sometimes I say things I don't mean because of the trauma of what these other toxic men I used to bang did to me. And that's why it's Todd's job to deal with that. Well, I smashed my phone again. Can you deal with this?
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, going through my phone, are we? I think it's only fair that because a man caused the trauma, or in some cases, a revolving door of strange men using me as a sex doll, that a man should heal the trauma. Okay, Todd, I have another item for your load.
Think maybe you could do the laundry sometime?
You know that I can't do laundry because of my trauma. My toxic ex-boyfriend used to f me against the washer, and then he broke up with me. So every time I do laundry, I think of that.
Sorry,
No,
I forgot.
Todd,
I'll
what the
have
hell?
this done by tomorrow.
Todd,
We
you're a
only
good
use
man.
Plastic
You can
plates
do
in the
better.
house just because she
You can
rubbed
do
them
better,
off.
Todd.
Okay.
Don't have
I'm
to
just not
settle.
one of those other girls that are into drama. Todd, whose photo is this you just liked?
That's my friend from work. She just got promoted.
So what? You're saying that I've never been promoted?
You've never had a
You know, the only like girls that are promoted? Well, I'm sorry that I'm not promoted enough for you.
She has a lot of debt, which she now calls our debt. very high APR, borderline usury. Last year, she spent $9,000 on ATM.
Oh, this is absolutely beautiful.
She's at $20
This
at
is
a time.
Todd,
absolutely
I've thought about it, and I'd
beautiful.
like you to take me on vacation tomorrow.
I have to work tomorrow.
Is this how I find out that you're exactly like those other men?
I mean, we don't have to go to the most expensive restaurant all the time. I am running a little short on cash.
What'd you just say?
No, I have money. I can sell things. I did overhear her refer to me as the human ATM, which I plan on bringing.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?